behavior of a function f near isolated singular points. Behavior of f near isolated singular point theorem. If z0 is a pole of a function f, then limit z tends to z0 f of z is equal to infinity. Proof. Let z0 is a pole of order m for f of z. Then f of z can be written as phi of z by z minus z0 to the power of m, where phi of z is analytic at z0 and phi of z0 is not equal to 0 from the known theorem. This implies 1 by f of z can be written as z minus z0 to the power of m by phi of z. Now let us take the limit z tends to z0 1 by f of z. What you will get? Limit z tends to z0 z minus z0 to the power of m by phi of z, which is 0. z0 minus z0 is 0. Phi of z0 is not equal to 0. 0 by anything becomes 0. Therefore, limit z tends to z0 f of z. If 1 by f of z becomes 0, then f of z becomes infinity. F of z becomes infinity. Next theorem. If z0 is a removable singular point of a function f, then f is analytic and bounded in some deleted neighborhood 0 less than modulus of z minus z0 less than epsilon of z0 of z0. What is the given? z0 is a removable singular point of a function f. Let z0 is a removable singularity. From the definition of removable singularity, in a Laurent series of f of z, the principal part is 0. That is, then there exists a radius r1 greater than 0 such that f of z is equal to summation n is equal to 0 to infinity an into z minus z0 to the power of n. I am not writing the principal part because z0 is removable, where 0 less than modulus of z minus z0 less than r1. Modulus of z minus z0 less than r1. Now define f of z0 as a0. Now what is the limit of z tends to z0 f of z? As z tends to z0, all terms become 0 except the first term, because it has no coefficient. It has no term z minus z0. Therefore, as z tends to z0, f of z becomes a0. But what we have defined a0 as f of z0. Therefore, f of z is continuous at z0. Therefore, f of z is continuous in at z0, as well as this is the series in this one, which is a polynomial series. Therefore I can say that it is analytic, it is continuous. Then at z0 as well as in the deleted neighborhood, it is continuous in modulus of z minus z0 less than r1, less than r1. Now choose epsilon which is less than this radius. Since f of z is continuous in this at center z0 of radius r1 and I selected epsilon inside this, since f is continuous inside r1, then it is continuous in epsilon as well as on epsilon. Therefore f of z is continuous on modulus of z minus z0 less than or equal to epsilon. Therefore f is continuous in a closed region, therefore it is bounded. There exists capital M greater than 0 such that modulus of f of z is less than or equal to capital M on modulus of z minus z0 less than or equal to epsilon. Therefore f of z is bounded, f of z is bounded, as well as it is analytic because of the polynomial which has no singularities. Bounded and analytic on 0 less than modulus of z minus z0 less than epsilon, less than epsilon. Riemann's theorem. Suppose that a function f is analytic and bounded in some deleted neighborhood 0 less than modulus of z minus z0 less than epsilon of a point z0, of a point z0. If f is not analytic at z0, then f has a removable singularity there. What is the given statement? Suppose that a function f is analytic and bounded in some deleted neighborhood of a point z0. In this deleted neighborhood, f is analytic as well as bounded. F is not analytic at z0, particularly at z0 f is not analytic, but in this neighborhood, at deleted neighborhood, in the deleted neighborhood there is no point z0, then f has a removable singularity. What the previous theorem says, if z0 is a removable singular point of a function f, then f is analytic and bounded in some deleted neighborhood, in some deleted neighborhood of z0. If f is removable singularity, then in some there exists at least one deleted neighborhood in which the given function is analytic and bounded in the deleted neighborhood. You can say the converse part of that one. If suppose that f is analytic and bounded in some deleted neighborhood and f is not analytic at z0, then f is removable singularity. Removable singularity. Now, since given that f is analytic, since f is analytic in 0 less than modulus of z minus z0 less than epsilon for some epsilon greater than 0. deleted neighborhood. Deleted neighborhood centered at z0 of radius epsilon. The given function f is analytic here. Now, since f is analytic in an annular region, therefore I can use the Laurent series. By the Laurent series, f of z can be written as summation n is equal to 0 to infinity an into z minus z0 to the power of n plus summation n is equal to 1 to infinity bn by z minus z0 to the power of n. Now what I have to prove? I have to prove that f is removable singularity. To prove that f is removable singularity at z0, I have to prove that its singular part, Laurent series of singular part is 0. Means all the coefficients bn is 0. All the coefficient bn is 0. Here where what is bn? 1 by 2 pi iota integration over c f of z by z minus z0 to the power of minus n plus 1 dz, where c is a simple closed positively oriented contour contained in the annular region. Enclosing z0. So let us take C, a circle centered at z0 of radius r0, which is less than epsilon. This is C. So what we have took? First, to prove that z0 is a removable singularity, it is enough to show that each bn is 0. Now choose C as circle centered at z0 of radius r0, where radius r0 is greater than 0 and less than epsilon, just now as we have drawn. In the statement clearly given that as f of z is bounded on 0 less than modulus of z minus less than epsilon, then that is there exists capital M greater than 0 such that modulus of f of z is less than or equal to m for all z belongs to C, since it is bounded in this annular region and C is a contour in that, therefore on all of these points on C and inside C f of z is bounded. Now what is Bn? 1 by 2 pi iota integration over C f of z by z minus z0 to the power of minus n plus 1 dz. Now what is modulus of Bn? 1 by 2 pi integration over C f of z by z minus z0 to the power of minus n plus 1 dz, less than or equal to 1 by 2 pi integration over C modulus of f of z by modulus of z minus z0 to the power of minus n plus 1 dz. Since modulus of f of z is less than or equal to m, less than or equal to m by 2 pi integration over c 1 by modulus of z minus z naught to the power of minus n plus 1 dz. But what is z minus z naught is r naught. M by 2 pi r naught to the power of minus n plus 1 integration over c dz, which is equal to m by 2 pi r naught to the power of minus n plus 1. Now what is this one? This one is the circumference of a circle, length of the contour c, that is circumference of a circle of radius r naught, that is 2 pi r naught. 2 pi r naught, 2 pi r naught get cancelled, m into r naught to the power of n. This one tends to 0 as n tends to, this one tends to 0 as I can say r naught tends to 0. Why? As we have considered r naught is lies between this one, as r naught tends to 0, this one tends to 0. So what you will get here, each and every bn is equal to 0 for all n. This implies bn is equal to 0 for all n. Therefore what is f of z then? Summation n is equal to 0 to infinity an into z minus z naught to the power of n, because all the bn's are 0. Therefore since it has no singular part, therefore z naught is a removable singularity. Removable singularity, that is, if f is analytic and bounded in some diluted neighborhood of z naught, then that z naught is a removable singularity. Removable singularity. Next theorem, Cassiorati-Weierstrass theorem. Cassiorati-Weierstrass theorem. Suppose that z naught is an essential singularity of a function f, and let w naught be any complex number, then for any positive number epsilon, the inequality modulus of f of z minus w naught is less than epsilon is satisfied at some point z in each deleted neighborhood of 0 less than modulus of z minus z naught less than delta of z naught. What we have to prove? What is the given? Given that z naught is an essential singularity of a function f. For any epsilon greater than 0, modulus of f of z minus w naught is less than epsilon at some points in the deleted neighborhood of, in each deleted neighborhood of z naught. This one we have to prove. So let us consider, we will prove this one by contradiction. Suppose that I have to prove that for any epsilon in each deleted neighborhood for some point this one is satisfied. Let us take for some epsilon greater than 0 and a complex number w naught, there exists a delta greater than 0 such that for any z with 0 less than modulus of z minus z naught less than delta, modulus of f of z minus w naught is greater than or equal to epsilon. I have to prove that in each diluted neighborhood for some points this one is satisfied, but I am going to assume that for some epsilon there exists a delta such that in the diluted neighborhood this one won't satisfy. This one won't satisfy for any z. We have to prove for some z it should satisfy. All the z's does not satisfy this condition. Let us consider. Take g of z is equal to 1 by f of z minus w naught. Then what is modulus of g of z? 1 by modulus of g of z minus w naught. So f of z minus w naught. This one will be less than or equal to epsilon. Case 1. Let g of z naught is not equal to 0. G of z naught is not equal to 0. Then f of z minus w naught is equal to 1 by g of z. From this step I can write. Now f of z can be written as 1 by g of z plus w naught plus w naught. What are the singularities of f of z? That is roots of the denominator. Roots of the denominator. But z naught is not a root of the denominator. Therefore f of z is analytic at z naught. Therefore f of z is analytic and as well as bounded in 0 less than modulus of z minus z naught less than delta. Then what the previous theorem says, if f of z is analytic and bounded, then z naught is a removable singularity by the previous theorem. But which is a contradiction because z naught is essential singularity. Therefore contradiction to the hypothesis. Now how I can say that f of z is bounded here? Modulus of f of z is this one. From the triangular inequality, this one is modulus of this one plus this one. This is a complex number which is bounded, and modulus of f of this one is less than or equal to this one. So I can say that. Now case 2. Let g of z naught is equal to 0. G of z naught is equal to 0. Then I can say that z naught is a 0 of g. But what is the order? I don't know. So let us take, let z naught be a 0 of order m for g of z. Then this g of z can be written as z minus z naught to the power of m into h of z, where h of z is analytic at z naught and h of z naught is not equal to 0. Now what is f of z? 1 by g of z plus w naught. Now substitute 1 by z minus z naught to the power of m into h of z plus w naught, which is equal to, what you will get here, LCM 1 plus w naught into h of z by z minus z naught to the power of m into h of z. It is in the form of phi of z by z minus z naught to the power of m, where phi of z, what is phi of z? Phi of z is this one. When I can say that phi of z is analytic at z naught, if h of z is not equal to 0 at z naught, therefore h of z naught is not equal to 0, therefore phi of z is analytic at z naught, and phi of z naught is also not equal to 0 because h of z naught is not equal to 0 plus 1. If w naught is equal to 0 also, then it becomes 1. Therefore z naught is a pole of order m for f of z, which is again a contradiction, which is again a contradiction to the hypothesis. Therefore, in both the cases, if I take g of z naught is 0 or g of z naught is not equal to 0, I am going to get a contradiction. Therefore, our assumption is wrong. Our supposition is wrong. Therefore, what you will get? Therefore, our supposition is wrong. Therefore, what you have to get? Therefore, for any epsilon greater than 0, the inequality modulus of f of z minus is less than epsilon is satisfied at some point, at least some points z in each deleted neighborhood 0 less than modulus of z minus z naught less than delta of z naught.